But coming back to the theme with regards to where, consumer durables is concerned, the other stock in focus, as we mentioned today, is Symphony. Now, with a market share between 50 to 55% and the AC sales seeing a pickup in June, is it the right pick for your portfolio? Now, we are joined by Achal, Bakeri, CMD at Symphony to discuss the outlook going ahead, because there was weakness in the first quarter, but how is the outlook expected to look like going ahead? Welcome to the show, Achal. To start off with, firstly, with regards to a buyout of CT is concerned, now this is the third overseas foray that you've done in the last decade. The acquisition is expected to be revenue and PAT accretive. If you could just help us understand the synergies also of this acquisition.
I mean, the synergies are that, first of all, this acquisition is in the same business as Symphony, which is air coolers. And it gives Symphony presence in Australia, which it never had so far. It also increases or enhances Symphony's presence in the United States, because this acquisition also has a significant presence in the United States, and so does Symphony. But it adds to Symphony's business in the United States. Moreover, this company's products are complementary to Symphony's products. This company, the acquired company, is not into household coolers. They are mainly into commercial and industrial coolers, whereas Symphony India has been historically stronger in the household coolers. So this company's distribution channel in Australia will give Symphony's product access to the Australian market. And Symphony's international distribution channel and presence will give access to this company's industrial and commercial products to be sold worldwide. Moreover, Symphony's sourcing, strength will be an advantage to this company, so that they'll be able to maybe source products or components or raw material at a lower price than they currently are, and therefore boosting their bottom line. So we see multiple sort of advantages through this acquisition.
Right. So multiple.
Moreover, this company being in the southern hemisphere, rather Australia being in the southern hemisphere, the cycles are exactly opposite. The climatic cycles are exactly opposite, and so are the business cycles. So in the winter months, when Symphony's business is relatively low, is when Australia will be experiencing summer and will be selling, coolers. So it will help Symphony at a consolidated level further even out the business cycles.
Right. So, Achal, if you could just help us understand, post the acquisition, now how will your revenue mix change, and what will be the impact with regards to the EBIT mix as well?
See, the revenue so far, Symphony's revenue out of about 78% of our revenue is domestic and 22% is international. Post the acquisition and post consolidation, the revenue mix will become 58% India and 42% international. So the international revenue nearly doubles, which has been sort of our objective. About a month ago during our annual, after our board meeting, when we announced our annual results, we had also unveiled that Symphony is currently in version 3 of its evolution, and this acquisition further sort of strengthens what we are trying to achieve in version 3, which is have greater international revenue and also greater revenue from commercial and industrial cooling segment. So both those objectives get greatly met through this acquisition.
Right. So that's with regards to where EBIT as well as revenue mix is concerned. But overall, if you see with regards to valuations, there is an expectation, that though the acquisition will be PAT and revenue accretive, however, the PAT growth and ROC, ROE of consolidated entity will be relatively lower than the standalone business of Symphony. Do you think it could lead to derating in terms of the PE multiple?
Well, I really don't think that should happen. I think the exact opposite should happen, because the EPS will certainly improve, and the acquisition has been made at a at a multiple of just about 7 times the EBITDA, or 0.7 times the revenue, which is, in our opinion, a fairly good valuation. So we believe that the exact opposite should happen.
Right. And Achal, overall, we've seen weakness, at least in the month of April. Some pickup with regards to where room ACs is concerned has started to come in the month of May and June. What is your outlook with regards to May and June sales for Symphony?
I would say the current quarter also has been, certainly muted. The quarter that ended in March and the quarter that will end, in June, on June 30th, both have been below our expectations.
Right. And very lastly, Achal, what's the outlook looking like overall for FY19? Because already the first quarter is expected to be weak, but the remainder three, what's the expectation then?
In terms of inorganic growth, we don't expect to be sort of making another transaction after this transaction in the coming year. It will be in July, from 1st July 2018, that this acquisition will be consolidated into the Symphony books from 1st July onwards. So till, at least in the foreseeable year, in the next year, we do not foresee another acquisition happening. So inorganic growth is, apart from whatever this contributes, we don't expect anything else to happen. On the organic front, we believe that our historical rate of growth, CAGR, both in top line and bottom line, should be maintained in the foreseeable future.
Right. Thanks, Achal. Thank you for speaking to BTVI and sharing your views as well. So that's the entire story that we have with regards to where consumer durables is concerned. We got you the management of Symphony as well as a brokerage recommendation on Voltas for the day. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Build Your Portfolio. Thanks for watching.